Guys, welcome to another painting tutorial on how to paint Atomic Miniatures 2077 Lego compatible models. Okay, so like the other times, we're going to be using these models. This time, we're going to be painting Nuka Cola bottles. They're very small pieces and they're very easy to paint because it's a very simple color scheme. Okay, here's what colors we'll be needing this time. We're going to be needing Oranfang Brown by Citadel. I'm going to be needing Non-Oil, Mephiston Red, Ceramite White, and we're also going to be needing some varnishes. The main one is the gloss varnish because we're going to be needing this to give the glass effect on the bottles, and then you're going to be needing a matte varnish to finish. The varnishes I use are mostly Vallejo ones. Gloss varnish, this can even be used with airbrush, and a simple matte varnish, just to preserve the models. But it's only for a couple of details. Okay, so first things first, we're going to be needing Oranfang Brown. Shake the pot well. The pot just fell from my hands. Okay. So we're gonna grab our brushes now. Let's start painting with this thing. They are very tiny, so they're very prone to slip from your hands. Let's give them the first coat of paint. So Nuka Cola bottle, these kind of have the same look as they usually do in Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 3 in New Vegas. It's like the normal bottle, Nuka Cola bottle, the normal Coca-Cola bottles we see up there. Although, to be honest, I do like the Fallout 4 designs. I do prefer the Fallout 4 designs for the Nuka Cola bottles. Because they're much more slick. They stand out. They have a much better design overall. It's not just looks like a normal soda bottle, per se, because they have their own look. And I do like it. Fallout 4 did come up with some really neat ideas for designs. Connor, if you're when you're watching this, do try to make some Fallout 4 design. Come on, do try to make some Nuka Cola bottle Fallout 4 design. That would be awesome. Although, to be honest, model those in whatever program he uses. I think he uses Blender. It ain't easy. Okay, as you can see, it's very fast for you to paint these. It's very fast for you to paint these. There's not much hassle. These are very quick to paint. Just turn them around and apply paint wherever you'll be needing to paint most of the model. The only slow part of the process is the varnishing, but we'll get to that later. Okay, so now that the brown parts are already painted, as you can see here, it's gonna be this hue. It should be a darker brown when it comes to the Fallout 3 and New Vegas design, but I think the color in Fallout 4 suits a bit better because it isn't as dark. Okay, so now we're gonna be grabbing our gloss varnish because we're gonna give the glass effect to the bottles. Okay, so this is pretty easy. You just have to grab a brush that you would usually use for varnishing or to apply shades. As long as it's not your normal painting brushes. You just grab the brush, grab the model, and apply varnish all over the model. You don't need to apply it on the cap, just the bottles themselves. And then leave it to dry. This is a very easy part of the process. It will take a while though. But you might be asking, but Daniel, you still haven't applied the nail oil. Well, the nail oil will be applied later because the nail oil will give a dark effect. We're talking about bottles that have been around for 200 years, so they're not gonna be. They look glassy, they can have their shine, but they're gonna be dark and dusty and dirty. Okay, just let's finish applying this, and we're gonna leave them to dry for maybe an half an hour if the air is dry enough. If we're lucky, it'll take even less than half an hour. If you spread it enough to just give it a small layer, you don't need to apply much varnish, just enough to give it a glossy effect. Okay, now that the gloss varnish finished drying, let's go to the next step. I have made a mistake and I should have mentioned that we're gonna need lead belcher. Instead of Abaddon Black, we're gonna be using lead belcher. Abaddon Black I decided to remove from the project idea. Ceramite White will depend on how well I can paint the labels, but now we're going to be using lead belcher to paint the bottle caps. Give the primary color of the bottle caps. Just a little bit, just a little bit. We're not going to need much. This is a very quick thing to paint. Now, before you do this, make sure that the varnish is indeed dry. Otherwise, the model will be gluing to your hands and it will be removing the varnish. One simple coat of paint with the lead belcher should be more than enough. If you want to make it faster, do what I call the putter wheel method, which is just simply rotating. If your brush is good enough for that. Forgot to mention that at the beginning I also forgot to mention that my models have been already primed in gray, so as to spare me the trouble of having to prime everything by hand now. And since I didn't have Mornfang brown spray, I just spray painted with a gray spray paint. But if you want to make the work easier for you, either grab an airbrush or grab a spray paint can of Mornfang brown and just spray all over the models. Okay, it's looking good. And the last one. Okay. And this part is done. Now, next step. See, I told you this would be fast. Now, grab the Mephiston red and let's start, and let's put it on our palettes. We won't be needing too much, just a bit on the palette. Okay. Now we grab our models again. Pick a side, any side. Just face it against you. And we're gonna start painting the top part of the bottle cap, and then we're gonna be here right in the middle, right where it starts to get it a bit more plain. We're gonna paint ourselves a nice rectangle. Then it's just do the same thing for every bottle until you're finished. You can even decide how big your label will be, but just make it big enough so you can see the entirety of it when the bottle is facing you. Like I said, rinse and repeat until the color is solid enough. Okay, as you can see, it looks like this. Simple, just a few lines. It's very easy to make. Now, if you're feeling really confident in your freehand painting skills, just grab some ceramide white, put it on your palette, and with a very thin brush, you're gonna be trying to either you do or try to do the Nuka Cola logo on the bottle. And I already made a mistake. And I keep making mistakes. Now, freehand painting is nothing, something that isn't for everyone, but with practice you can go there. I'm simply gonna limit myself to just try to mimic the line in the bottle. In the bottle layer and bottle cap, just try to do something simple, nothing too detailed, because I'm gonna be honest, I'm not very good at this. It's okay if you're not good at it. Nobody is. I'm not good at this either, so I can't judge. I wish I could do better freehand painting, but with practice, I'll go there. And so can you. If you practice and watch tutorials online on how to do it, you can do it. You can do it. Just practice it. Okay. And this part is basically done. Now we'll leave it to dry a bit. And while we let this dry, and it won't take too long until it dries. While we let it dry, we're going to be preparing the final part of our painting process. We're going to be grabbing gnome oil, apply some of it in our palette. And we're going to be diluting it with Lamian medium. Because we don't want our bottles to be too dark. So we grab our bottles, we start applying wash on them. This is also a pretty fast process. The other reason why I'm diluting this with Lamian medium is that so that the model, once it finishes drying, it's at least the the null oil will make the model too dark and still and not negate any effects of the varnish, because you want to keep that that glossy effect. And if your null oil is too dark, you will ruin that effect. But if you dilute it a bit, the model will still look dark enough, and it will still have the glossy effect that you desire. Oh, shoot. No, there it is. And there's our last one. Jesus Christ, these things are slippery. Okay, and now we wait this for this to dry, and we'll see how it looks. It's finally dried up. This is the final result of the job. I hope all you guys enjoyed watching this. I hope you guys get your miniatures from Atomic Miniatures 2077. I'll be posting his Etsy store on the description below. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you will subscribe to me for more tutorials in the future, or watch my older videos, or any other content that I make in the future, as well as follow me on my Instagram for more stuff that I work on. Bye bye.